SDSSU. Vision. A transformative leading university in Asia and the Pacific. SDSSU. Mission. SDSSU shall provide competency-based higher education through transformative instruction, relevant research, sustainable extension and production responsive to local, regional and global trends. SDSSU. Goals. Instruction, to develop competitive, resilient and transformative academic community. Research. Top produce high-impact research and development, advancement of knowledge and instructional innovation. Institutional development and policy formulation and commercialization. Extension. To improve the lives of the rural and urban poor through transfer of technology and knowledge. Production. To develop and improve resources generation to sustain university operations. Governance. To deliver transparent, responsive and excellent governance for client satisfaction.
The Forestry Department of Surajal Del Sur State University.
Under Policies, Standards and Guidelines for Bachelor of Science in Forestry CMO No. 06, Series of 2019. Bachelor of Science in Forestry is a 4-year degree course consisting of 4 areas, namely, Forest Biological Science or FBS, Forest Resources Management or FRM, Social Forestry and Forest Governance or SFFG, and Forest Products Utilization or FPU. Every student has total of 191 units that includes undergraduate thesis and a summer practicum before he or she can graduate from the program. The is supported with training facilities such as propagation chamber for student training in the production of tree planting in coordination with FRDEC, previously FDRRC, a 3-hectare provenance field trial laboratory through Mo with Denver, a 10-hectare mangrove term with Mota City Government of Bislig, temporary forest nursery where seedling production operation is located, computer laboratory and internet. This what makes a graduate from the program qualified to take forester's licensure examination. Sum total units of the curriculum. For GE courses we have 36 units, mandated courses 14 units, foundation course 3 units, institutional courses 15 units, core courses 93 units, thesis and practicum, we have 18 units, electives 12 units, a total of 191 units.
The SDSSU Bislig campus is headed by our campus director, Forester Wilson C. Pasos, and Associate Professor 1. A Master of Science in Environmental and Resources Management. He graduated on March 19, 1999 at University of Southeastern Philippines, Taguig campus, with the degree of Bachelor of Science in Forestry, and completed his Master of Science in Environmental and Resources Management at the University of Southeastern Philippines, Abrero campus, Davao City, on April 21, 2007. He is now on his 21st years in service.
Engineer Franco G. Pontilayan, Assistant Campus Director, Associate Professor 4, a Doctor of Philosophy in Educational Management at Davao del Norte State College. He is now in his 21st year in service.
The department is headed by our beloved Dean, Dr. Cynthia S. Alves, Associate Professor 4, a Doctor of Science in Philosophy major in Horticulture. She finishes her bachelor's degree at University of Southeastern Philippines in 1981, with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, completed her master's in crop science at Northern Mindanao State Institute of Science and Technology in 2001, and her doctor's degree at University of Southeastern Philippines last 2016. The Department Chair. Forester, Rosalie Arbacelo, Instructor 3. A Master of Science in Forestry major in Forest Resources Management. She finishes her Bachelor of Science in Forestry at University of Southeastern Philippines Bislig campus in 2001, and passed the Forester's licensure examination June in that same year. she pursued her career and completed her master's at University of Southeastern Philippines, Tagum campus, in 2016, and now, she have been serving 8 years of teaching service. At present, there are 4 faculty members, all having a 4-year degree course in forestry and master's degree. 2 with Master of Science in Forestry or FRMI, 1 with Master of Science in Forestry and Environmental Science, and 1 Master of Science in Forestry ongoing. The Forestry Department has only 4 full-time faculty members. Addition of faculty is necessary considering that the CMO minimum requirement is of 12 regular faculty teaching, of which 75% is full-time. To suffice this requirement, we agreed to have 7 visiting faculty.
The Faculty of Forestry Department. Forester Wilson C. Pasos, Associate Professor 1, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Forestry at University of Southeastern Philippines. He gained his master's degree at University of Southeastern Philippines, Aburo campus. Cynthia S. Alves, Associate Professor 4, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Horticulture at University of Southeastern Philippines. She is a Doctor of Science in Philosophy major in Horticulture on that same school. Lovelia de Ramos, Assistant Professor 2, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Biology at University of Southeastern Philippines, Aburo campus. She is now currently pursuing her Doctor of Education at Caraga State University. Rosalie Arbasalo, Instructor 3, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Forestry at University of Southeastern Philippines, Bislig campus. She is now a Master of Science in Forestry major in Forest Resource Management. Forester Josephine E. Madayag, Instructor 1, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Forestry at University of Southeastern Philippines, Tagum campus, and on the same school she is now currently pursuing her Doctor of Philosophy major in Science Education. Forester Hannah G. Pontilayan, Instructor 1, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Forestry at University of Southeastern Philippines Bislig campus, and she is now pursuing her Master's at University of Southeastern Philippines, Tagum campus. Forester Bendeline C. Tulingon, a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Forestry at University of Southeastern Philippines, Bislig campus. She is now currently pursuing her Master of Science in Forestry major in Forest Resource Management at USP Tagum campus, permanent faculty. Alves, Cynthia S. a Doctor of Philosophy. A graduate of Bachelor of Science in Horticulture, she is now in her 37th year of service. Anover, Rosalie F. Master of Science in Forestry major in Environmental Management, 4 years of service. Basalo, Rosalie R. Master of Science in Forestry major in Forest Resource Management, 7 years of service. Garrigues, Rochelle B. A Master of Science in Horticulture, 7 years of service. Madayag, Josephine E. A Doctor of Philosophy major in Science Education, ongoing, 1 year of service. Gloria, Allen, L. A Master of Science in Forest Biology Science, 16 years of service. Lumacon, Clarence R. A Master of Science in Forest Resources Management, 4 years of service. Pasos, Wilson C. A Master of Science in Environment Resources Management, he is now on his 20th year in service. Pontilayan, Hannah G. She is now studying her Master of Science in Forest Resource Management, 8 months in service. Paulit, Gizro, Master of Science in Agriculture major in Crop Science, 5 years of service. Luz Viminda M. Paines, a Master of Arts in Education. Tulingon, Beneline C. Currently studying Master of Science in Forestry, 1 month in service. General Education Faculty. Alferez, Myrna, Bachelor of Science in Education major in Sociology, a Master of Arts in Education, 21 years in service. Bauya, Lourdes, L. Doctor of Education Development Research Administration, for dissertation, 22 years in service. Linda, Gary S. A Master of Science in Science Teaching, ongoing, MTTE, Electrical, 2 years of service. Estasi, Ginalin, A Master of Arts in Guidance and Counseling, 3 years of service. Hakalina Idrilinas. A graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Physical Education, 1 year in service. Marka Mayrieville, Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English, 1 year in service.
As you can see at the table, it shows the number of passers in Forester's licensure examinations, and the passing rates in local, and in national. From June 2001 to September 2019, we have been producing a total of 166 licensed Foresters, and counting, research completed. On April 1, 2008 to April 30, 2010, Forester Wilson C. Passos, the project leader, had been conducting a research entitled, Establishment of Seed Production Area, SPA, of existing stands of Malucan saw, falcata, Paraserianthus falcateria in use Bislig campus, Bislig city, a green production within. On April 1, 2008 to April 30, 2010, 2 studies were carried out by Forester Wilson Passos et al., namely assessment of existing stands of Malucan saw Paraserianthus falcateria in use Bislig campus, search for best plus trees, and flowering and fruiting habits of Paraserianthus falcateria, a phenological study. In the same year, Forester Carlo D. Alvarez carried out a study on seed quality evaluation and production assessment. In that same year also, he had been conducting a research project entitled Project Title, Establishment of Mangrovedom at the Coastal Area of Selected Barangays in Bislig City, Surigao del Sur. From January to June 2009 once again Forester Carlo D. Alvarez conducted study on assessment of the existing mangrove flora in the study area. And on the following year, May 2009 to December 2010, Forester Carlo Alvarez and Forester Wilson Passos conducted 2 different studies. Forester Alvarez on plantation establishment of introduced mangrove species in the study area and Forester Passos on valuation of mangrove resources in the coastal area of selected barangays in Bislig City, Surigao del Sur, a bioprospecting study. Ongoing projects. Research, Growing Green Asset. Extension, Agroforestry Extension Program, Training on Air. Production, Agroforestry Production Project. Research Proposal. Establishment of Arboretum, Agroboretum, Palmsum and Bambustum, projects, making scientific agroforestry for sustainable academic program climate change adaptation.
A whirlwind tour to Forestry Department. There are 2 laboratory rooms. Wood Science Laboratory and Forest Resource Management Laboratory. This is the laboratory for wood science. This is the room where we can see wood samples and outputs from timber and non-timber species, submitted by forestry students. Not only products were here, but also equipment for a wood laboratory were available. This is the laboratory for forest resource management, where we can see the collection of different kind of seeds for forest nursery and silviculture courses. This is where they are stored. Forest Biological Science Laboratory, or FBS. There we can see are the 3 new building for classes. Hopefully when this pandemic ends, we can utilize it accordingly. Lastly, at the end of the hallway, is the faculty and staff room. Each has a table and set of computer. This way to stock room.